All right, Debbie. Debbie? Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, the first on the, agenda is, a letter from Angela Farinelli for a new club, but we are gonna strike this item because the correct procedures weren't followed. And she can go ahead and, resubmit, so, I'd like to make a motion to strike this item due to the correct procedures wasn't followed. Do I have a second? Any discussion? It needs to be, just so that you all know, Patrona needs to see it, and she hasn't seen it, so she just needs to follow that. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
All right. The second one is a letter from Kim Danner for a new club.
Okay, this letter is from Kim Danner. A small group of Brookridge residents, including Kim Danner, Hazelburg, DP, asked to reserve a small clubhouse room or floor space, in parentheses with chairs available. We need this every Wednesday at 4:15 for 45 minutes. This is that we have, they would like to have air-conditioned space to consider synodic functional mobility, geared to our age group, like Tai Chi and Qigong yogurt, meditative breathing, and etc. Need only room for 5 people to stand or sit at arm's length. We love Brookridge and all facilities. Kim Danner. Is Kim here? No? Okay, this would only be for every Wednesday for 45 minutes. It's mobility functions for our age group, as they put it. And, we're getting there, but anyway. I made a motion for a small group of residents to reserve a small room or floor space every Wednesday at 4:15 for 45 minutes for functional mobility such as Tai Chi and yoga, mediative breathing.
Arlene, I guess this was okay with, Patrona? She did verify that? Okay. All right. I'll second the motion. All in favor? Aye.
No. Oh. No.
You're going home.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
You have to. You'll be all right. You'll be back in the
Debbie, they're getting my chair from the office.
They're getting it now. But I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. That's not right. No, I don't have the problem you do. Keep your comments to yourself. You got something to say, go outside and do it, right here. Why should I? You're talking to the wrong choir here, pal. No, you're right, we should be able to tell us if you're. What here, you need to take it off. Well, because we're not late. I'm sorry. We know. He's sick.
Maybe you could get ready to come in so we can start our meeting. Is there any way you could get ready to come in?
I'll let you explain that.
I just need a minute to compose myself, okay? We've called the EMS, so they're on the way. He does. So we'll go ahead and continue the meeting. If you guys can just give me a minute to go to the ladies' room, okay? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Arlene, you didn't miss anything. I excused myself and went to the facilities. So, well, I had stuff, tell you all tonight. First off, I know you probably haven't seen me up at the podium for a while, and there was a reason for that. Jim, a lot of times, couldn't stand for long periods. And I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable, so I just sat down and said what was going on. But as you know, we've had a lot going on. We had the roads, the clubhouse, the electrical, swimming pool, painting, chandeliers, fans, all of that going on. We have ponds that are going on now for the silt. I call it dredging, but we're not the ocean. So, the silt, because of the weather that hopefully we don't get, but in case we do, we are prepared. So with that, we have kind of this little bit of a lull, and we're just trying to catch our breaths. Also, Jim passing away has left a big void. His seat will not be filled. It will be filled by you when it comes time for another election. His seat won't be filled. We're not appointing anybody or anything like that. His seat will be filled by you, and who you feel that is best to replace him. Okay. The other thing is, I want to let you know we have budgets that are coming up, and that is going to take an enormous amount of time, especially with the costs that we are experiencing here, like everybody else, for everything that you go and you buy and you do. So we will probably have a lot of town halls on that, maybe even weekly town halls, so that we can get people's input and figure out how this budget is going to work for everybody. So that's all that I had. I had some more. I've lost a few of my words, so I'm sorry about that. But I thank everybody for coming. I thank you all for coming to the memorial service for Jim. That was very important to see everybody. I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you.
I'm sorry, we're gonna read the thing about the construction.
Yes, I had one more thing. And this has to do with the construction that's going on out front. So we had thought about it, and, anyone who's gonna live right behind that construction area, that's gonna abut the construction area. So we came up with anyone whose property is right behind the construction can temporarily put up a barrier to cut down on the dirt and sand, et cetera, that may come into their yards. So come to the administration office to get a one-page ACC application, and once this construction is completed, the barrier has to be removed. And we're gonna send an email out to everybody regarding it. So, like a tarp or something like that over the fence, you're welcome to just come to the office and fill out an ACC. It's just one page, that's all. So, Linda, you have your treasurer, do you have anything for that right now, or you want me to skip it and come back? Okay. I'm sorry. So, the next thing on our agenda is Arlene, I'm sorry, do you have anything?
Richard wants to table his agenda.
Yes, we have that. The next thing on the agenda is the ad hoc committee for adding solar panels. This was by Richard, but he would like to table it, so I'll make the motion to table the ad hoc committee for the solar panels. Do I have a second?
Sorry, who was that?
Any discussion, or everybody's okay with him tabling it? Okay. All in favor of tabling it? Aye. Everyone, the second thing on the agenda was the appointment to fill the vacancy of the second vice president. And Catherine said that she would like to read something before we continue. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody, thanks. To the BCPO community, I'm addressing you this evening because I feel there are things that need to be said to you. I ran for our board of directors because I wanted to be a part of something positive in the community. Since I had taken office as director in March of 2024, I was totally left out of the loop until recently. Well, I thought that had changed suddenly about 2 weeks ago. I was approached by Debbie and then later by Millie and Linda, and told that they would put me in the position of second vice president. They apologized for not including me in the things in the past and assured me that things would be different in the future. I truly appreciated that and hope things would change. Well, that was short-lived. I think it's very important that I make it clear to everyone that I was not privy to the information that's on the last page of this agenda. I'm very concerned and disillusioned by the agenda that I received. I do not, my hot flashes are killing me. Whew. I am very concerned and disillusioned by the agenda that I received. I do not feel this is new. How could it be? After going through years of YouTube videos, previous board meetings, it was suggested that there be a forensic audit. It is my recommendation that we move forward with that the forensic audit to resolve financial issues with a start date. I've gone back as far as 1/1/2020. We need to spend the money to find out what happened and why we're in this position today. However far back we need to go, in order to get to the bottom of things. There has been talk of missing money for years. We need to get to the bottom of this and then move forward with the things. Sorry about that. Also, this would stop the blame game. Instead of blaming previous boards, we need to get the facts and do what needs to be done from today forward to ensure that everything is in order. Being new, I'm just learning how this works, but I am quite sure that the BOD president is in control and has been since March of 2023. Originally, when I was offered the second vice position, I was shocked but ready to step up. I have not been made aware of any of the topics listed in this agenda previously, and was alarmed by all that was in the Finance Committee's report. It is very concerning to me. It must be taken seriously and, in my opinion, requires serious changes and accountability. I am not resigning from the board. I have every intention to work with the BOD and the community. However, I cannot be an effective second VP if I am still being kept at a distance. I also feel things have already been decided prior to the meetings. I feel our community has the right to discuss things prior to them being voted on, and despite people's differences, every member is entitled to be respected and allowed a voice to voice their opinions. We should not pre-decide things without member input. So I request that my appointment to second vice be tabled briefly. I do not feel it would be productive or beneficial to have a second vice president that is not privy to vital information, both past and present, that is listed on the agenda. I feel that the entire community has the right to total transparency and communication, and that has not been done in this case. I have been voted in by this community and have taken an oath of office and will do my best to do what I can and to be an active part of the solution. I feel it is in my best interest and the HOA members to let those that were aware and directly involved handle the things that have come up on this agenda. I cannot be a part of the solution if I am not made part of the issues. I absolutely look forward to working with the board members, but I feel it's imperative that we go forward with total transparency, as always claimed, and a better communication system in place, and more input from the entire community. In a community united with the HOA members and the board working closely together, we can achieve much more than we have been doing divided. Thank you.
I make a motion to table this, the appointment of Catherine Lane to second vice president.
I second that.
Okay, Catherine, appreciate the fact that you brought up some issues that have come before us before, like the forensic audit. I had spoken about a forensic audit 2 years ago. Of course, that was tabled or put aside. But the only thing I can say is that I'm kind of surprised at your letter. Had you not spoken with us or one of us or all of us, to let us know your concerns. You did mention something last week, and I had mentioned to you, yeah, when I first started, I felt like a fish out of water also. Not, going to different meetings or whatever, but that's besides the point. You have a right to feel the way you do, but in your letter, I mean, you, strong words in there, it's like, you're going against what we've been trying to do here for 2 years. Not against, all right, hold on, I have the floor, okay? For lack of better words, I'm just surprised at how you feel, because I certainly didn't know how you felt about this, Catherine, at all. I really didn't know this at all, how you felt. I wish you would have, even if you didn't want to, come to, even if we talked about this before meetings or even on the phone, but I had no idea that you felt this way. I really didn't. And I'm sorry that you do.
Well,
I'm sorry that you do.
but the thing is that I went to all the board meetings, and that's where I found the issues. So in sitting all by myself and going to all these YouTube meetings for the past, better than 3 years, there were so many things that were new business that were never old business, so many things that were old business that never got attended to, so many financial issues that got brought up and then were never resurfaced until months or years later, and I'm like, oh my God, how can I be a part of the solution if the problem just continues to intensify? Somebody has to say stop and let's fix it. Let's move forward. Let's accept it all.
Okay, this is what we're trying to do, and I'm not gonna put anything on the past boards, okay, that's in the past. This board took on a lot since we came on board, whether you like us or not. We're not here for a popularity contest, we're here to represent everybody that lives in this community. We're all taxpayers, we're all homeowners.
What's the last meeting?
When I get finished, I have a right to speak whatever I wanna say up here. And the thing is, we've all there's been a lot of problems that have come to this board from the past. A lot of things that came to us last year, we're like, well, how did this happen? And I remember sitting here many meetings, listening to finance reports. Well, come down to the office, we'll give it to you next week, we'll give it to you, and nothing ever happened. And I used to hear this too, sitting where you guys are. And it was frustrating to me. That's one of the reasons why I ran to see if I could make a difference here. But it takes a team effort, not just one, all of us. All of us have to work together. All of us in this community have to work together.
Cameras at admin office. Cameras, DVRs at the admin office are not working properly. Access is not possible due to outdated equipment and software. Recommendation to move forward and approve the quote from Linus Security. I make a motion that we go forward and approve the quote from Linus Security to upgrade cameras and DVRs at the administration office for $2,870.18. This expense will be paid from the operating account. Do I have a motion?
Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion? And Vince,
Go ahead. Somebody fill out paper?
I have one person that filed for the DVD backup, David. Yes, sir. If you want to come to the podium, if you can please give your name and your unit number when you go out there. Okay.
Good evening. Do you want me to use microphone?
Yes, you're in unit 4, by the way.
Hi, good evening, David Henry, apparently unit 4. So perhaps insignificant. Pardon?
That's Mike's on.
Testing. So perhaps a small topic, but on the DVR, typically that's one point of failure. As per that quote, is there any opportunity to have a backup in the cloud? Because just as you're experiencing now with the DVR, it's failing, and so you're gonna have the same issue with another piece of hardware unless we can perhaps have this go to the cloud. I'm not sure where all the cameras sit, and how much are recorded, and how vital that is to retain it, but just getting another DVR is, I don't think it's a good investment of an expense.
Debbie? What we've done in the past, we went with Night Owl and QC recorders, which failed drastically, which relied directly on an internet connection in the building. Since we want to try and get all the visibility to the guard check after hours and during hours, it's pretty much imperative that we, and building on the system going forward with Linus, because he's already had the cameras at the guard check for probably a year and a half, 2 years now. And so everything is cloud-based with Linus. So right now we're using Night Owl at the office, and it continues to go down. You can't access it even outside, even on a phone or a computer, because it's just so scratchy with the way they're built. I spent hours and hours with support with the compound, trying to even get it up into the guard shack at my compound. Many hours with them, and I figured, okay, you know what, I'm done. I'm just gonna go with Linus, and now they're visible at the guard shack. They can see it anytime, 24 hours a day. Cameras right up there. It's all cloud-based. You can go back and play back, view it 2 weeks ago, and you got it. And a good thing with this is that, like Arlene, myself, it's basically phases. Phase one was getting the compound done. Okay, so the guard shack can view it overnight and during the day. The office is number two. That'll be phase two of getting it done, and then the clubhouse after that. All the DVRs reside in the office, at my shop, and at the clubhouse. And everything in the guard shack is via internet over the cloud, so they can monitor everything here in the building. Does that answer your question?
So essentially you're confirming that this will be uploaded to the cloud. So as we're buying this new DVR, it'll be stored locally as well as into the cloud.
That's correct. Yeah, everything. That's all cloud based.
Right. It just didn't articulate that in the quote, so just want to confirm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All in favor?
All in favor of approval for the Linus security upgrade? Cameras and DVRs at the admin office for $28.70 and 18 cents. All in favor? It's a cloud-based program.
With this new update in the the camera system, why is there audio? Was that brought up?
That's the only audio there is to protect the employees and the residents. There's only 2 cameras that have audio up there. That's one coming in the door and one that's behind Meg. So, behind the receptionist.
Yep.
So when somebody comes and starts swearing at them and being belligerent and getting very upset, that way we have proof that they violated our rules and regulations for hammering an employee for no reason. That way we have proof going to the VRC. And then we can go to the court. So that's the only audio. Everything else is cloud-based.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. to fine them and or give them a violation for abusive language, abuse of an employee. That's the only reason why it's there.
Okay. And my other, comment with it, my other piece of discussion for this was, you know, the back page is pretty clear about the fact that our finances are kind of unknown at this moment, up, down, and all over the place. So should we be spending money on anything at all? I mean, should we wait until, I don't know, but if my bank account doesn't add up, I need my
Well, we
bank
haven't
account.
got to the treasurer's report yet,
Okay,
or anything from Linda.
okay. So that was just my thought, that if everything is a mess on the back page, and the finances are up in the air right now, kind of hard to spend money when we don't know what we have. But that's okay. That was my only comment, thank you.
Madam President, I have a question. I know I'm not on it, but.
Gail Metcalf, Unit 6. You're looking to pay for something. I don't see where it's coming from in the budget. Everything that you spend, you should be able to say what line item that is coming from.
Do you wanna just go ahead and table it? Okay. All right. Then I amend the motion, to approve. I amend the motion to, table the security cameras. Do I have a second? Okay. Catherine, have a second. Anything? Do you have anything, Linda? No, Millie? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
The rules and regulations for parking and vehicle control is being struck out again. Strike 3 tonight. I make a motion to strike this from the agenda tonight.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Sorry, discussion? No? All in favor? Aye. Okay.
He said yes.
He said yes, Richard?
Linda made the motion.
Yes. Next on the agenda is the deed restrictions. We're gonna make a motion to strike this from the agenda and discuss it next month. I make a motion to strike this from the agenda and discuss it next month. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
You second? Linda, second? Any discussion? No one? Catherine? No? Millie? All in favor? Aye.
Okay, the Estoppel certificate, I'm not gonna strike this one. Florida State House Bill 979, rules on Estoppel certificates. Recommendation for BCPO to establish authority to charge fee for preparation and delivery of Estoppel certificates. This must be done annually. Proposed motion, I make a motion that BCPO establishes the authority to charge a fee for preparation and delivery of Estoppel fees. Huh? What is an Estoppel fee? When you sell your property, you have to fill out the forms. They go to the office. They will check your account to make sure you have no back fees or money to pay for violations, assessments, and then the fee for preparing the paperwork.
Just for clarification, the resident or the seller doesn't actually do it. If you say, like say I want to sell my home, I would either contact mortgage company or the title company, and then the office gets the request from either the title company or the bank. And then the form gets filled out and gets sent back to the appropriate company, either mortgage company or the. So, and pretty much an Estoppel fee is just a fancy word for title search. It's just to make sure if I'm buying a home and, you know, John Smith is showing it to me that there's no fees, that there's no liens, and if there are, those do have to be taken care of at closing. Typically, it's worked out between the buyer and the seller. They might split it, they might, you know, do 20/80, whatever. So it's just to make sure that when a buyer comes in, that they do have a clean slate on their account.
How much is the fee?
Well, it does, okay, it does say right here, the new bill, when it goes into effect, it will be $299 for the Estoppel certificate. If the account is past due, then we are allowed to charge an additional $179. And then if the Estoppel, we do have 10 days to get that sent back. But if it's requested on an expedited basis, three days, because sometimes we get a call on Monday, they want to close on Friday, then we can charge an additional $119. So, and this, we do have this already in place, but now the state, the governor, he'll sign this. And so some places may be charging exorbitant fees, like, you know, $600, for an example, but they wanted to make it fair all across the board. And everybody that bought a house in here, you did have to do an Estoppel, not you, but your title company or your mortgage company did do an Estoppel before you moved in. Right now, the flat Estoppel fee is $250, and then if it's past due, add, I believe, another $100, so it'll be $350, and then if it's expedited, it goes up to $450, so it'll be $450 total. So we're pretty much right around the same area that the governor signed into the law.
Who pays that?
Typically, it gets worked out at the closing. So if you, Terry, were to sell your house, when your title company and your mortgage company negotiates with the buyer, so you might pay 20% and they might pay 80%, it really all depends on what's worked out between your companies, the bank, the mortgage company, et cetera. Yes.
To be in line with what the House bill states.
So the fees that all need set and not the fees that are, you approve this tonight, the fees are high.
It will be a little bit hard, right? Because we charge $250 now, it'll be $299. It's just straight.
Yes.
Just need a vote.
It was voted
It
on
was
by the
voted.
House, Florida State House.
Yeah, it goes into effect July 1st. Okay. A second. All in favor? Aye.
Richard said yes.
I've only been the treasurer for 13 days now and had a lot of
Wait,
papers
I'm
to sift
sorry,
through.
I'm sorry, there's a second part here. Second part.
If motion passes, I make a motion to change rules and regulations, Article 7 fee schedule to reflect Estoppel certificate fees to $299 for Estoppel certificate, $179 additional fee if the account is past due, and $119 additional fee if the Estoppel certificate is requested on an expedited basis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
And did you want to do the treasurer's
I'm gonna
report?
do the treasurer's right now. I've only been the treasurer now for 13 days and have had a lot of papers to sift through. And I'm just about through all the papers and also working on downloading onto a thumb drive all the reports and information Jim had on his laptop and deleting all that pertained to Brookridge from his laptop. A computer has been ordered for me to use at the admin office, and once it is in place, all the information on the thumb drive will be downloaded on that computer. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but we are trying to get but we are trying to get any inconsistency corrected so that hopefully these mistakes will not happen in the future. I did speak with the company today that is doing our audit for 22 and 23. They are under the manager's review right now, and when that is complete, they go under one more review and the draft will be sent to us to review. She said we should have it by the end of next week. Once we get the draft and review it and sign off that all is correct, then they will send us the final audits. I've also contacted 3 accounting firms and have set up Zoom meetings with them to find out costs and the services they offer. The finance committee, which I used to be on, the other side of the fence, was requesting a new accounting firm for several years. I have taken the time to search out a company and set up these meetings. In talking to the office staff, the accounting firm we have now has made the necessary corrections for 23. I will be talking to them to make sure all corrections are complete and that the books will be closed out for 2023 and any previous years that have not been closed out, because that's been another big issue for years. I've spoken to the company that does our reserve studies and got clarification on some of the items that have been paid for out of the reserve account, and those items are allowed to be paid out of the reserve account, and he did send me a letter. There have been some items that have been paid out of reserves that shouldn't have been, such as maintenance. Those amounts are being paid back to the reserve account from the operating account. I will not sign a check out of the reserve account for maintenance or anything that should not come out of reserves. There's been problems with the donated account fund. They put a new facelift on the spreadsheet, and one item, the clubhouse wish list, was left off during the transformation, and that has been corrected. There was $95,447.86 in a cash fund at Edward Jones. June the 11th, that was rolled over to a government agency money market, making 5.2%. We had 2 CDs that came due on June the 17th. I rolled those over into $240,000 CD with City National Association Sioux Falls at the rate of 5.4%. It matures December the 26th. And also on June the 7th or 17th, rolled over $58,000 into a CD with Key Bank National Association Ohio at the rate of 5.4%, and that one will mature December the 19th. Both CDs, the interest is paid at maturity. We will have all the paperwork completed with all the banks that we have money in, and when that is completed, I will be able to complete the treasurer's report. Excuse me. Patrona gave me a report on news and views that's dated 6/17/2024, and right now news and views is in the black, $22,178.12. Keep it up, Patrona. Dates have been scheduled for the Finance Committee meetings to start work on the 2025 budgets. If any resident has any questions, please feel free to send me an email, treasurer@brookridgefl.com.
They would like to know where the interest goes.
We just keep adding it on and rolling it over.
Sandy Houston, Unit 3, they want to know where the interest goes. They just keep
The
going.
interest
It gets rolled right back into the CD.
roll right back into the CD when it matures.
Does that answer your question, Sandy?
Okay, the paving is complete in Brookridge. The amount paid out so far, $542,309, which was paid out of Public Works reserves. We still owe a retainage of $55,709, which will also be paid out of reserves. We just completed year 5 and will be continuing with our 10-year plan for paving, and we'll be paving again next year.
Do you want to know what those would be? Those roads? Or no?
I got the 10-year study. Electra, Denison, Mariah, Cedar Cove, Fiat, Nickelodeon, Delrose, Morelli, Nova Scotia, Sandhurst West, Montrose, Mariah, Del Rio, and Misty.
Are they the ones that were done?
Those will be done next year, 2025.
10-year plan.
Yes,
Is that a 10-year contract with the paving company?
No.
no. It was an engineer study.
Each year we go through bidding process.
Okay, I have a letter dated June the 13th, 2024. Dear BCPO directors and members of the community, this year, committee spent numerous hours reviewing data entries in an attempt to reconcile bank statements, profit and loss statements, and donated fund reports. The errors we found were passed on to the administration office. Regretfully, the errors have not lessened, nor have the corrections been completed. Here is an example of concern. Profit and loss report as of March 2024 shows a major discrepancy in donated miscellaneous income. Bills are being paid twice while others are being paid late, suggesting a lack of proper procedure. Purchase orders are not being used as outlined in our SOPs. Line item 66,900, reconciliation discrepancy, still being used when an account cannot be balanced against the advice of our CPA. Donated funds account reconciliation between the recap of projects, bank statements, and QuickBooks, the balances do not agree. Clubhouse wish list has been dissolved and the funds unaccounted for. The board did not approve a budget for the 50th birthday party and spent close to $8,000. The financial books have not been closed monthly, quarterly, nor annually, leaving the door open to mistakes, including alternate entries. Reserve funds are being improperly used for daily or ongoing operating expenses, such as subscriptions for services, software licensing, and regular landscape maintenance. Large purchases should be disclosed to the members, as well as the accounts that are funding the expense, such as speed bumps. Discrepancies in the ACH, that's the automatic assessment deposits, bank reports, and our reports do not match. We have suggested further training of employees to ensure proper QuickBooks skills with goals of increased accuracy and timelessness, as well as a forensic audit. Our suggestion was to put the audit out to the residents for approval or rejection of spending the funds, which was ignored. Correct accounting reports are needed to complete our audits in a timely manner. Accuracy is essential for the daily reporting of expenses and income. The budget for next year is dependent on this information. We have met with several board members and administration employees to discuss our concerns. It is now time to stop discussing and start taking action to rectify these ongoing issues. The finances of this community is our lifeline to functionality and should not be taken lightly. Respectfully submitted, BCPO Finance Committee. And like I said, I've been on both sides of the fence now that I'm treasurer. I've watched the finances in Brookridge since the day I moved in and have always had questions. And they continue, and they continue, and they continue. I've always read that the sign of Virgo is somebody that's precise, meticulous, and a little OCD. I will not leave my checkbook one penny off. I will look for it and look for it. And I intend to do that with Brookridge's. Huh?
Let's not spend no more money till you do it.
Oh, we gotta keep paying those bills and everything.
Spending money's just.
There's been excess spending in all departments. We have inflation that we've been fighting. And the list goes on. But the first thing is to get everything in line. And I have been working with the staff members. And we are trying to rectify and get that straightened. Yeah, the bank statements from 22 and 23 compared to our books were horrendous. The mistakes were unreal, uncalled for mistakes. Those mistakes were turned over to the accounting company we have now, and to my understanding, they've all been corrected and they've made the changes so that they can close out 23. And like I said, I just learned this yesterday. So I will be calling that accounting company to make sure that they are complete so that we can close them down. Oh, one other thing. It was a request that Jim made to his wife. You know, he started the soup kitchen. The last 2 times I've been there and helped with the soup kitchen. It's amazing. He wanted her to continue with that, and she is. We had one today. We made baskets, boxes full of food for 15 residents here in Brookridge. She's accepting donations to help buy food. She'll accept donations like cans of soup, tuna, stuff like that. She said to take it to her house. And most of the volunteers that were helping prepare the boxes were snowbirds. So her sister and brother-in-law was still here. They helped today. And Esther White and myself were the only ones. So it's always the 3rd Wednesday of the month. At 10:30 we start. So anybody that wants to donate or have a helping hand, we greatly appreciate it.
15 that you already
on the list?
There's 15 on the list, and if you know of somebody that's in need, call Kathy, and she'll add them to the list.
And Miss Linda, you meet here to prepare everything?
Yes, in the kitchen.
Okay.
Does anybody want Kathy's phone number?
Yeah.
Okay, give me,
You can't hear. Please ask your questions at the
We
podium.
do sandwiches, cold cut sandwiches, and right now, God bless them, Glory Days is donating soup. So we cook the soup, put it in thermal cups, so they've got a hot meal. We had bananas in them today, and plums, and donuts, and all kinds of goodies. But they all got a nice box full of food.
Kathy Westbrook's phone number is 231-392-3303.
Kathy, K or C?
Okay, I'll say it one more time, just in case. 231-392-3303. And if you know anybody, for them to call her directly. She does, it's anonymous, so she takes care of all of the people.
The only thing we know when we're preparing the boxes, she's got the address on them. No names.
All right, we'll open it up for member comments. I do,
One more thing. There's a lady that lives on Evermore that has had some water issues washing out underneath her driveway. We have found out that this is a Brookridge problem, that the Vince has hired somebody to take care of it. I don't know if I guess it's like a culvert pipe underground. And with age, it's worn out, cracked, crushed, whatever. Most of these culverts, I'm sure, are 45, 50 years old. So this is the first one, so keep your eyes open. We may have more. So watch those culverts and storm sewers.
okay.
It just so happens that this culvert pipe is underneath the driveway. An extended driveway. The driveway that was put in, like years ago, that Brookridge signed off on it, having that lay of, 4-inch concrete slab over the retention pond pipe that's going in over on Evermore and off of Dinsmore, the large 36-inch pipe. So we have to dig that out and put a sleeve around it, seal it up, and then backfill everything, and then resod everything.
We'll open it up for member comments. I have one person that put something in. I can read his first name, Bo. B-O, Bo. Bo.
I got something,
Bo, B-O on I think it's Scepter, 9332. That's you? Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you, hold on. Yeah, hold on.
over here. There you go.
You hear me now?
Hold it up.
Oh, okay.
My problem is feral cats. I've got a neighbor one neighbor, they live under their house. The other neighbor next door feeds them. I've been here almost 4 years. And, I haven't been able to get anything done. I called AC, whatever it is, ASPC, Animal Control, and the, or whatever they call that. And they don't do anything except one of them, I think the ASPC will come out, pick up, they'll capture the cats, I guess, and take them and have them neutered. Then they bring them back where they let them go where they want. So I've talked to the woman and she says, they're not my cats, I only feed them. And the other one lets them live under the house. So I don't know what can be done or what, if there's any rules about feral cats in the park.
Just to, call animal control, or
I've done
have they come out at all? Have they come out at all?
that. I now know I'm there. You hear me?
Yeah. Not that, it's not like a farm animal. Yeah, we have rules, there's rules on farm animal, but we don't have anything in here about ferals. Let me ask, hold on, we have one of our experts here, just in case. Peter, do you have any information on the feral cat problem?
Okay, turn on.
Okay, so how this works is that, we have no control over the cats that are roaming around the community here. If you call up the animal control, they will come, or you can trap them yourself. We have a cage at the office, at the administration office. If you want, you can borrow it. We let you have it for as long as you need to have it to trap the cats. Once you trap them, you contact animal control. They will come down and pick the cats up. They will say, like you said, they will have them spayed or neutered. They do bring them back here and release them. However, once they're spayed and neutered, they're no longer breeding. They will eventually leave and go somewhere else.
Well, they're supposed to give that to someone, I guess. But the other day, I saw a cat go across my lawn. And then I looked by my house and there was a line of kittens.
Right, well, apparently that cat didn't get caught yet, so, right. That cat was not spayed or neutered, so therefore, as long as they're still breeding, they're gonna keep breeding, and then the babies are gonna be breeding until we trap them all. And that's gonna be almost impossible to trap all the cats in this community. They were all here before we were, so, but we can control them, we can trap them, and like I said, once they're released back here, they will go somewhere else because they won't breed no more.
Well, that's not the only problem I have with them. I also have a convertible soft top car, and they sleep on there at night or on the hood because it keeps them warm if I've been out at all. And I've gone to the point of putting bubble wrap over my car, and I put about 10 bottles of water in different places so it doesn't blow off during the night. And I don't want to, not up at that time of the night to see if they're laying on it, but I also pour water all over it because I don't think cats like water. Pardon me? No.
Can you ask your neighbor not to feed them?
That's for one thing, yeah.
Can you ask your neighbor not to feed them?
I've talked to my neighbors for 4 years almost. They're not gonna stop.
Have you tried putting mothballs around your property?
No, there's a lot of things I probably haven't tried.
Mothballs blow away, so please don't do that.
And what?
I've tried, I have a convertible top, I live over, on Salisbury, and my neighbor feeds feral cats. And they sleep on my convertible at night, so I have one of those lint rolly thingies that I go out every morning and,
Well, they could tear the roof off.
that's right. And a new
I've got-
roof is expensive.
And my car is full of scratches. It wasn't like that, you know, I bought it.
I know, I feel your pain, I haven't found an answer either.
So I mean,
Thank you.
I haven't heard a solution yet.
You could, Peter, stated you could go to the office and get a cage, but if they won't stop feeding them,
Where would I put the cage?
around the house, near the car, someplace like that. But thank you. Peter, would you mind, maybe you can just take a ride out there and look around, see what you can see?
I'll get his address.
I have it right here.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I like to get something for the 4th of July, if anybody wants to do. All right, here at the clubhouse, we try to do a 4th of July picnic every year. And this year, between the men's and ladies clubs of Brookridge, the ladies club's gonna be putting on a Chinese auction, and the men's club is gonna do share the wealth. They'll be serving hot dogs, chips, and drinks and water. So far, Pashona's got $400 for the food, for donations. She's also got a lot of donated items for the Chinese auction. It'll be from 3 to 6 p.m. on July 4th. That's the time they came up with, and Johnny and Mike will be cooking the hot dogs. So hopefully everybody can come. We'll be cooking for 300, so please come out and enjoy the day. Thanks.
Gail Metcalf, Unit 6. Just a couple things. We talked about forensic audit. The finance committee talked about a forensic audit. I just want the board to look into that because per our 720s, I don't know the ... number, but forensic audit has to be voted on by the body, and it has to come out of, it cannot come out of regular funds. So the one thing I think might be very important, you know, because it's been a few years and things keep happening. $70,000, I heard a figure for the last couple of years. The money from Spectrum, I think that would be, you know, we shouldn't use the money willy-nilly, but I think that's something that the money could come out of that instead of a special assessment, which normally would come out of. Just a thought. And you want to get on the ballot, so you probably have to do that. Yes, if you just look into that to see what it would be.
Right, we had discussed the forensic audit, and we had stated that it would be put on and voted on by everybody. And then that way, everyone had to say yes or no.
Yep, and it's something that you want to talk about so people fully understand where that's coming from the state statute. So at some point when you do that, make sure that people understand that.
Right, we actually have somebody that we're meeting with, and just an idea, we could always invite them to just discuss it or just tell everybody what it all encompasses and things like that.
That'd be a great town meeting topic. And another note is, I'm with an organization that we collect plastic bags, not new plastic bags, but recycling plastic bags, Walmart, Publix, all of them, Dollar Tree, all of them. And what my organization does is we do two things. We believe in cleaning up the earth, keeping the plastic out of the landfills, and the other is helping the homeless. So we have a group of women that collect the bags, we cut the bags, and we crochet them into mats for the homeless people. Not all homeless people are transits. I've talked to a lot of homeless people. I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of homeless people. We have a large community of homeless people who are veterans, women and men. We also are seeing an uptick of elderly going into the woods because their rents have gone from about $1,000 to over $2,000 here in Brooksville and in Spring Hill. These people are desperate. You have to know their stories before you judge them. That's all I'm saying. So I have a bucket in the first hall down there it's a tote bucket, and I also have a bucket at the administration office. And I would ask that instead of throwing your plastic bags away, if you could just grab them all up, we straighten them out and everything else, we'll do all the work. But please don't grab a bunch of bags from Walmart and stuff, because we want the ones to stay out of the landfill. That is our reason for doing this. So I invite all of you to, when you come to the clubhouse, just bring your plastic bags and put them there so we can make a difference in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
The money from Spectrum, that is, the board went into a contract with Spectrum, and Brookridge received $949,000 from Spectrum. Now, that money just can't be put into the budget or used whatever they want. That money is our money.
So that's the reason why we can't get anything else in here?
No. Well, I'm not gonna discuss that. I wasn't part of that. And that's something, but that has always already been a discussion. And when we start talking town hall meetings, I'm sure the board will explain that even further.
Can I just add something about the forensic audit? I didn't realize that we were close enough to having a company that was coming in and we were in the talks with.
I just talked to him this week.
You just talked to them this week? So are they coming in?
I just talked to them this week,
Okay,
and we're scheduling meetings with them, the Zoom meetings.
okay, very good. I'd like to be an active part of that if I could. Thank you.
All right.
And the other thing is, thank you for mentioning the bags. I was gonna talk about the unit reps, but I wasn't asked. The unit reps are looking for people to help them out, and they also wanted me to talk about the bags, so thank you, Gail, for bringing that up. But they're doing a great job over there, and they do need some more help. So anybody interested in a unit rep position, please feel free to give these young ladies over here a call or go see them. Thank you.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. Thank you, Gail. My number one question is, when are we gonna have the town hall for the Spectrum money? So, talking about the forensic audit and things like that, I'm sure that the board will put that on the schedule. My second question is, I was under the impression that ad hoc committee meetings needed to be posted as well as board meetings. And after seeing that the rules and regulations made a recommendation, I'm guessing they're having meetings and the development committee is having meetings. Heck, we even have a craft committee. So, according to the Florida statutes, I believe we're supposed to post those as well. So could we start doing that, please?
Evelyn Casolitis, Unit 1. What I'd like to do is I'd like to read my points, and then we can go to a discussion after, if you don't mind. I'd just like to be respectful of you all. Breach of contract. We, the community, have an expectation of a gated community, as fees paid have gone to gate repairs, yet we still have an inoperable system. To date, we have no resolve from the board. To continue in this vein is negligent. I have been told personally that repairs are needed on the cable that is underground. I've also been told that the data entry of all residents is another issue and is being done by one person, that this is causing gates to remain open. I've also been told residents crashing into gates are causing them to be inoperable. All these issues, yet periodically the gates are operational. So I'm not really understanding how that works. There's also $4,450 in February paid, and who knows how much each month for gate maintenance to ASE, Greg Smith. I'm curious as to what he's doing, what we're paying for, and we're also paying $2,000 monthly to Gate Entry for a system that's not working. Second point, training or retraining of guards. We have people on our list entering, yet there's no visit. We have people not on our list entering with no visit. We have additions being made to the homeowner list by guards not prompted by the homeowner. After multiple complaints and finally a call to the president with a follow-up email, I personally have had my issue resolved at my residence regarding erroneous visitors. Someone added the letter A to put it up on top, banned anyone not on list. It worked. Okay, I thank you for that. Maybe we need to add that to all listed accounts. I agree that residents have ownership regarding maintenance of their lists, but these lists need to be adhered to or we have no security. I also acknowledge that the president stated to me that we have no security and no guards, that they are code enforcement. Yet the gated community is listed on our homeowners page with the 24-hour security guard as well as the signage stating guard on duty. This gives all the residents and potential residents the sense of security, as it should. If we have no security and the gates continue to be inoperable, then why have it or them in place at all? Training or retraining is part of the solution. However, I believe that making and keeping the gates operational is crucial to the community and its expected sense of security.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And what else? Can you guys speak to any of
Yeah,
that?
I am.
Okay, thank you.
I am. We have somebody here that's gonna speak to it. Okay. Did you wanna go ahead and have a seat? We have, Robin, Mary, did you all wanna go? We have, somebody here that's gonna speak to this young lady. Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna happen
You can-
tonight.
Yes, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Can we move forward with that piece right now? I think everybody here has an interest in that, and I'd like to hear it myself. And correct, are you guys okay?
Are you okay with that? Yeah? Okay. I'm sorry, what? No?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Hello, Rich West, I am supervisor now at the guard jail. Can you hear me? Hello, can everybody hear me now? All right, there you go. All right, I could probably talk without loud as I am. But down there, we got some ongoing issues with some, technical problems. I was in a meeting yesterday for 2 hours with the Gate Center for Michael Rendon. And I've upgraded the software on the tablets. being with some of the individuals that do work there that have some medical issues. And we are hiring. If anybody wants to put an application in, you know, I mean, you're more than welcome to. If you want to make a difference, come down there, I'll train you. And yes, I do believe that some of the people do need some more training. One guy's been there 10 years. He fell out, he had bad COVID, and I don't know if it's time for him to retire or not. I'm evaluating that this week. I'm gonna be in there every day on my off days, and I'm going to be observing what these individuals and new employees, because 2 employees were let go that have been there a long time, so we're retraining new people, and their staff having a real issue. Now, I brought both the tablets, the old version and the new version with the new software that's lightning fast, separated, because on the old tablets, some of those, when you type in a resident, and this is no excuse, because they need to slow down, take a little bit of time, and repeat the last name of the resident back to them. Period. And I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to either, if they cannot, maybe they're beyond training. They're not going to, you know, we're going to make other exceptions to this. We're going to hire new individuals, and we got to go all back to the training. I think it's easy, but come on down and give it a try. You're more than welcome to. They get overwhelmed. It's not that easy. On the gate thing, we're working with Greg Smith, which has been an ongoing issue forever and ever. We got to order a part. We got to do this. We got to do that. I'm frustrated as you all are about that. I've tried and tried till I'm blue in the face. I'm not a gate technician. If you get knocked off, yes, I do put it back on. And but I don't know the technology, you know, the technical end of it, the mechanical part. Vince has been down there and tried. That's out of our realm. Vince is really good at stuff. Believe me. And Dick, Vince, and all of us have tried. It's a headache, and we need it to work right. It worked right in the past. We cannot allow this to move as it is now. It's not acceptable. And I'm going to make a difference. I guarantee you. I've got a big man back there, Dave. He's my lieutenant now, and he's also in the process of helping me be more thorough with these guys. I've got stuff posted all in the guard shack, a protocol, step by step of what to do, you know, and I mean, and Dick actually implemented a thing in there that we've stuck with. If they're not on the list, they don't come in, period. You don't add anybody, you pay attention to what you're doing. It's really not rocket science. Some of it does take a little bit of learning, but through this, I think, give me another, if it's not better in 2 weeks, come give me a quick kick in the rear end, because I'm going to try to get it corrected. And it's going to get better, I promise you guys, okay? Because there's this new software that we downloaded with Gage Century yesterday. It's going to work good. I've shown her, Miss Debbie, the difference in the two of them. You guys may not be able to see it, but on the new tablet, these are lightning fast. It separates where the residents are being locked in. You got, this is hard. I'd like to maybe, I'm going to show you, because you have some, you know, everybody here has concerns to this. And Esther, she works up there. See how bunched up it is? And they will actually jump, and they're not supposed to. And instead of them taking that one more second and go, what was the last name of that resident you were going to? They hit it. And that's a big number.
It seems like they're just doing the address and not marrying it with the last name.
That is, you know what, yeah, some of that's true, you know,
That
and,
needs to be corrected, that needs to be stopped.
and they're getting written up for it too. It's not just left to do it, so.
But if the system's not working all the time, why don't we look into getting another company so that we can have it working all the time?
On the gates,
Wasting money
on the gates or on this?
on the gates.
Yeah, on the gates, I know, that's a board, you'll have to address that with them. I mean, I tried working with these guys until I lost
I mean,
almost all the
we're
rest of my
wasting
head.
our money and they're not fixing it. We're throwing the money out the window. And
I
we have
agree.
money problems, so let's
I
use
agree.
that door.
Rich,
Yes, ma'am.
you've worked at the gate
Going
for
on 11 years.
11 years,
Yes, ma'am.
and 21 is when they replaced, no, 22,
Yeah.
the new gate went
2
in.
years, and that gate's been up for a year since I can get them the exact date from another coworker, and I think it's been May.
I can look back in the
Yeah,
records.
it's been 1 year and X amount of May.
But it wasn't,
June, July,
it wasn't compatible with our other gates, was
wasn't
it?
compatible across, no.
Right.
And to my belief, we just needed to redo the wiring underneath, across, and this has been before any of that. We had the old gate system up. It was just old, it just that.
But this gate that we've got now is belt driven, not chain driven like the other.
Right, it's way slower. You know, and it's on a delay, it's supposedly, you know, this new technology, it's supposed to be able to, you know, you can do it with your phone or whatever, or with a computer, to regulate the speed of the gate. And so far, it's not impressed me, you know.
My suggestion,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what the rest of the community thinks, I think they'll go along with me if the board does. We had a debacle with the floor here in the clubhouse a few years back.
Okay.
And we had to come in and redo it. I think we have a debacle with that gate system. And we'll have to redo it like we did the clubhouse floor and it. It's time to get something done.
I like the way it was wired, you know, I like myself, I mean, it's not old school. You know, they're talking, everything's Wi-Fi now, and, I know Wi-Fi is great and everything, but with the wiring, I mean, it's great you can have both, whatever. But to be just relying on that alone, to me, is unacceptable.
So our gate is Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi. There's a Wi-Fi connection running to that.
Thanks, Rich.
Then why is it
No, there is power going to the gates too, you know, and, that all that wiring is like longer than I would.
See, the intermittence of it working and not working is a huge issue, because let's all of us think those guys don't know what they're doing. It's not working, it is working, some days it is working, some days it isn't working.
Just like she stated, and I think that's a good idea.
I did actually, I had a very good conversation with her, and like I said, you guys have grounded my guard issue, and I appreciate what you're saying about the guards. You acknowledge the fact that they need to be trained, or retrained, or maybe let go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because dogs, you know, old dogs can't get, but so maybe you can help them.
Yeah.
And Rich,
Yep, ma'am.
Rich, thank you very much, and I just want to point out things. I just want to point out something to everybody, with Gate Century, and you might not know this, but there is 1,500 households in here that have never even logged in. And that's an issue also.
But you have a lot of elderly that don't.
Right, so we are thinking about doing one of those come up here, and we'll help you get in and do a list or something like that. And if you want, before you leave, if you want to come up here and look, this is the old way they were doing things. And this one here is a lot bigger, you can see it, this is the new way. And the writing is bigger, the screen is just completely different. So they brought one of each, so if after you, afterwards, if you wanna come up and look at it, so you can see what they're looking at, it might let you just know where they're coming from. All right, thanks, Rich.
Rich,
Yes, ma'am.
Rich, and I have a question on YouTube here, is why are the outbound gates always open?
I've had an issue with the outgoing.
Is it mechanical, or
It's
is it,
mechanical. It's
or is it barcode issue?
mechanical. It's mostly mechanical on the resident side gate.
No, on the resident side of the gate, it's always open.
Yeah.
So it's right now it's a mechanical issue,
Yes,
not a
sir.
barcode issue.
No, sir. Sir?
I think all of us have.
Dave and I, that has been. Yes,
Okay.
it has been addressed.
Thanks.
All right,
Very
thank
much.
you, Dave.
Can I hold these up here for, okay.
Robin Napier, Unit 3. This will be my 4th time up here for the same same thing. And it goes back to February of 22 is when everyone that decided that they wanted to run for the board came up and they told us the things that they were going to do to improve. The one thing was Debbie said that she would never sign a contract. I've been told 3 times there is no contract. The third time, which was last month, I was told asked and answered, which I think that's really not very nice, because I'm up here trying to make a difference to help people, because these are important to us. These are things that all of us should know about, right? Should you not know if there's a contract that we have with an employee here? Why do I want to know? Because that was the reason she ran, and that was the reason that we put her on the board. Because of Carol Webster. I don't know if anybody remembers Carol Webster, but apparently she had a contract. And apparently there were things that they were trying to get out of that contract and they couldn't until she cussed out a couple of people. Apparently that got her off. But we do have a contract here, and I asked Debbie. I even had one of the other board members walk up to me and tell me that she researched it, and there is no contract. I even spoke to the person that the contract is about and said it was not, he did not have one. So if we want transparency, let's start it here with the members being told the truth by the board. And thank you, Catherine, for getting up tonight. Thank you.
Employment, 5-year contract. Does anybody want to tell us? Does anybody
Mary
want to
Story,
tell us?
Unit 6.
I'm bound by,
I think Debbie, I'd first like to ask.
Mary, let me ask you. I'm bound by a confidentiality agreement, and I can't break that. The president wants me to break it, I'll break it.
We want to know.
I am bound by a confidentiality agreement,
We have the right to know. We are the residents.
but I cannot answer the question until the president releases me from the president.
And your disclosure, I got 25 copies of it right here of your contract with Debbie's signature on it, and Jim Westwood, and Leo, and Arlene,
Did you know?
and Vivian's signature on it, right here.
You're sitting right
If
beside.
anybody wants to see. She should be held accountable for all the stuff that financial law is written on. Because Arlene.
You need to leave.
If we some,
You have decorum. There isn't decorum.
You have not listened to anything or any laws since you've been on this board. And don't tell me you was voted in by the people of this community, because you inherited your position. Nobody run against you.
Please sit down.
You cannot change laws, bylaws, and deed restrictions.
Please sit down, or you can leave. Yes.
Mary Story, Unit 6. I have to agree to somewhat with Jerry that Debbie, you owe the residents here an explanation as to why you lied to us. You were not asked once, you were asked twice, you were asked 3 times, and every time we were told there was no contract. Florida statute says, we have in its 72303, section 5, subsection C and 4, that we have a right to a copy of that contract. I was denied my rights when I requested a copy of that, and the reply I was given was, as Debbie said at the April 10th meeting, there is no contract. So now you're denying the residents of official documentation that we can have. I have one other question for you. We have rules and regulations. You stood up here and you told us numerous times, it's black or it's white. There's no gray that exists. then can you please explain to me why you broke the rules and allowed the woman on Sandhurst who had the fire to put an RV in her driveway for 30 days? Are you prepared to break that rule for everybody else in this room?
That was actually on the advice of our code enforcement at the time.
Do you want to blame it on them? You still broke the law. You agreed to it. You disobeyed our rules and regulations. We have to obey them. If we don't obey them, we get violations, we get suspensions. But you just broke the rule by allowing them to do that.
All right, well, thank you.
I still have time to talk. Okay? I want to also go back to the IT guy, Tar, okay, that we had before. You came into this meeting, you told everybody that he dropped us like a hot potato. 1, 2, 3. Admin came in, there was no notice, we were down, website down, and everything else. I have the documentation where the gentleman gave you 30 days notice. You had correspondence back and forth with him after that. He asked for usernames, passwords. It was supplied to him. So you allowed this to happen because you had 30 days notice and nothing was done about it. I'm asking you, why did you allow that to happen?
We were in the midst of talking with other computer people at that time, and it was very difficult to find somebody to take over.
Well, Greg had already spoke at a workshop meeting back in the spring that said he could do IT. You said you had an IT person working on it and everything else. You still allow assistants to get down. I think you owe these residents a lot of explanation and answers. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn this meeting. It is 8:45 PM. Thank you.